Artificial Frontier Podcast. Artificial Frontier Podcast. Artificial Frontier Podcast.
Ready for another deep dive? Buckle up, because this time we're heading into some seriously mysterious territory.
Oh, I love a good mystery. What are we tackling this time?
Well, we're diving into a story that links an ancient African tribe with a star that wasn't even visible to the naked eye until the 19th century.
Now that's what I call intriguing. You have my attention.
I knew you'd be hooked. So, our amazing listeners have sent in a ton of YouTube videos all about the Dogon Tribe in Mali, Africa. We're talking documentaries, independent researchers, you name it. They're all buzzing about the Dogon and their alleged knowledge of Sirius B.
The Dogon and Sirius B. I'm already sensing a fascinating connection there.
You got it. So, for anyone who needs a little refresher on the Dogon, picture this. You're in Mali, standing at the edge of the Bandiagara Escarpment, these incredible cliffs. And that's where the Dogon have lived for centuries.
I've seen pictures. They're amazing. It's like something out of this world.
Totally. And they're known for their incredible artistry, their strong connection to their ancestors, and their really sophisticated understanding of the cosmos.
All passed down through generations of oral tradition, right?
Exactly. And that's what makes this whole Sirius B thing even more mind-boggling.
Okay, so remind me what's so special about Sirius B.
So Sirius, the dog star, brightest star in our night sky. Most people have heard of that one.
Yeah, I know Sirius. What about it?
Well, Sirius has this companion star, Sirius B.
Ah, I see where this is going.
It's a white dwarf star, incredibly faint, super difficult to observe even with telescopes. It wasn't until the 19th century that astronomers were able to confirm it was even there.
Okay, and the Dogon knew about this? How?
That's the million-dollar question. And get this, they didn't just know it existed. They knew details about its orbit, its density, even that it was made of some material way denser than anything here on Earth. They call it Otolo, the seed star.
Hold on. They knew all that, and we only just figured it out a couple of centuries ago. How could they have known?
Well, that's where things get really interesting. The Dogon say this knowledge was given to them by the Namo.
The Namo? Who are they?
Amphibious beings.
Oh.
From the sky. Yep, you heard that right.
Amphibious beings, visitors from the stars. It's a theme we see pop up again and again in ancient cultures, isn't it?
Now that you mention it, it does seem to be a bit of a recurring theme. Why do you think that is? What is it about these amphibious beings?
Well, if you think about it, water often represents the unknown, the mysterious. It's essential for life, transformative.
And in the Dogon cosmology, water plays a central role in the creation myth too, right?
Absolutely. The Dogon believe that in the beginning, there was this primordial egg. Sound familiar?
A little bit like the chicken or the egg, but on a cosmic scale.
Exactly. And inside this cosmic egg resided Amma, the creator god.
Okay, so Amma is in this egg.
Yeah.
What happens next? Does Amma just say, let there be light, and boom, universe created?
Not quite. Amma isn't just a creator. Amma is the vibrating force that sets the entire universe in motion. Imagine a still pond. Oh, picture dropping a pebble into that pond.
Ripples, right. Those ripples spread out, disturbing the stillness.
Precisely. Amma's vibrations are those ripples, expanding outward from the primordial egg and shaping everything. Stars, planets, even us.
So Amma creates this universe full of, well, vibrations and energy. Where did the Nomo fit into all this? They're not just hanging out in the cosmic egg with Amma, are they?
Good question. So the Dogon believe that Amma first created twins from that primordial egg.
Twins, like a cosmic set of siblings. Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
One twin, represented by the fox Ogo, symbolizes disruption, a kind of cosmic rebel. You see, Ogo's actions brought imperfection into the universe, that element of chaos that exists alongside order.
Okay, bit of a troublemaker, this Ogo. I can see where this is going.
And then there's the other twin, the Nomo, wise amphibious beings who the Dogon say descended to Earth from the Sirius star system.
Hold on. They traveled here from Sirius, as in the star Sirius. How did they get here? Did they swim? I have so many questions.
They didn't exactly swim.
Yeah.
The Dogon describe a vessel descending from the sky.
A vessel, you say? Like a spaceship?
They describe it as making a terrifying noise, kicking up enormous clouds of dust. Some accounts even say it bounced several times before coming to a stop.
Wow. That sounds almost like an eyewitness account of, I don't even know what to say, a spaceship landing. Really, a spaceship landing. It's a wild thought, but I have to admit, it kind of makes you wonder, I mean, if these nomos were real, if they really did come from Sirius, wouldn't there be some kind of evidence, something beyond the Dogon's oral history?
Well, that's the challenge with oral traditions, isn't it? They're passed down through generations, often evolving and changing along the way. So it's entirely possible that over time, the story of the Nomo's arrival might have taken on a more, well, let's just say elaborate form.
So you're saying the Nomo might not have arrived in a blaze of glory and a cloud of dust. Maybe it was a bit more subtle than that.
Exactly. Think about it. The Dogon have a deep connection to their environment, the natural world. It's not hard to imagine that their cosmology, their understanding of the universe, is intertwined with that connection.
Okay, I see where you're going with this. So maybe the Nomo, as they're described, aren't literal beings from another planet. Maybe they represent something else entirely.
Precisely. They could be symbolic representations of natural forces, or perhaps ancestral spirits who, in the Dogon worldview, brought knowledge from a distant mythical past.
Okay, that actually makes a lot of sense. But it still doesn't explain how the Dogon knew so much about Sirius B. I mean, we're talking about specific details about its orbit, its density, even the fact that it's made of something far denser than anything we have here on Earth. Those aren't just stories passed down through generations. Those are scientific observations.
You're absolutely right, and it's a question that has baffled researchers for decades. Some have suggested the possibility of cultural diffusion, the idea that the Dogon might have acquired this knowledge through contact with other cultures, even Europeans, at some point in their history.
But what about those anthropologists who lived with the Dogon? They documented their traditions, their beliefs. Wouldn't they have noticed if the Dogon were just repeating something they'd heard from someone else?
That's the thing. They didn't. And then there are those Dogon artifacts, some dating back centuries, which depict Sirius B. These artifacts predate any documented contact with Europeans, which really throws a wrench in the cultural diffusion theory. It's a real head-scratcher.
It really is. It's like they were looking at the Sirius star system through a different lens, a lens shaped by their own unique cosmology, their generations of observation, their deep connection to the cosmos.
You've hit the nail on the head. The Dogon story is a powerful reminder that our understanding of the universe is constantly evolving. What we accept as truth today might be challenged tomorrow by new discoveries, new ways of seeing the world.
So where did that leave us? Back at square one, it seems. Do we have any answers about the Dogon and Sirius B, or were we left with more questions than when we started?
I'd say a healthy dose of both. We may never know for sure how the Dogon acquired their knowledge of Sirius B. Was it through contact with extraterrestrial beings? Or is there a more earthly, albeit still undiscovered, explanation? The truth is, we just don't know. And that's okay. Sometimes the journey is just as important as the destination.
Well said. This deep dive has been a wild ride. Cosmic mystery, ancient traditions, and some seriously mind-bending possibilities. To all our listeners, if this conversation has sparked your curiosity, don't let the journey end here. Go out there and explore. Dive into the world of the Dogon, their art, their culture, their unique perspective on the cosmos. You might just discover something amazing.
Artificial Frontier Podcast. Artificial Frontier Podcast. Artificial Frontier Podcast. Artificial Frontier Podcast.